many things that you may be a witness to. You might learn something tonight that you will be a good witness if you see a incident happening in the mall, in the parking lot, or wherever. You may learn something tonight for that. Now, Norm Sugarman came to us a few weeks ago. He wanted us to put something together, and we have. And it's actually going to be two parts. In about another month or so, we're going to come out, and we're actually going to teach some physical stuff, some hand-to-hand, some things you can do to get people off of you, some things you can do to protect yourself and your kids. Now, one thing I'm not going to do that Norm wanted me to do is take up an offering since we was in church. He said, please take up an offering, but no, I wouldn't go there. But listen, we got a lot of experience up here. Kelly Jackson, she's been with the Kingston Police Department for about 8 years now. She's got 16 years of law enforcement. Gene Sutton has got military and security and law enforcement all. He's got about 40 years experience. I've been with the Kingston Police Department for 27 years. I've been chief for 14 years this year. But we do like coming out and doing things for the community. This church helps us a whole lot in the fall when we have our food drive for Hands of Mercy. We fed 750 families last year, and it's a good opportunity for us to get out in the community and to mingle and see what your needs are. And remember, tell your kids, your grandkids, if you see a uniform, don't be afraid of it. And that's one thing that in this day and time, a lot of kids are programmed. If you see the kids come, or if you see the police coming, you've been bad, you're in trouble, put your seatbelt on, get in the car seat. We're not like that. We want to be friendly for the community. We want to be able to help. If there's any questions you have tonight at the end that we can, if we don't have the answer, I tell you what, Kelly and Gene will find it. But I'm going to turn everything over to Kelly now and let her introduce Gene. But like I said, pay attention. There'll be something you might can find out tonight that can help you, or may be able to, like I said, be a witness and help someone else. Kelly?
They've got me wired this way, Chief. Okay. How's everybody doing today? Good. Like I said, I'm Detective Kelly Jackson. I've been with the Kingston Police Department since about 2008. Prior to that, I worked for the Rome County Sheriff's Office for about 13 years prior to that. I started in the jail, worked my way up as from a jailer to a dispatcher. Then I went out on the road. I worked for Sheriff Haggard back then. He sent me to the police academy. Graduated from the police academy in 2001. Was a road deputy, served criminal warrants, answered calls, done all the good stuff that police officers do every day. After that, he promoted me to a criminal investigator, which I did for about 6 years. There was an opening at Kingston Police Department, and I went and begged Chief Washam for a job, and he gave me one. And I don't know if he regrets it now or not, but I'm still with him. So that's just a little bit about myself. This is Gene Sutton. He's one of the staples here at the police department. He's our special events coordinator. He does the handgun safety permit classes. If anybody's interested in that, he can give you some information on that a little bit later. And he's going to tell you a few instances that kind of open your eyes, I believe. Okay. I've got a PowerPoint presentation. This is my first one, so you'll have to excuse it's a little bit elementary. Can everybody hear me and see everything okay? Okay, I might be a little loud, and I apologize for that. This is just our main business card, Chief Washam. That's our new address for our new police department. We just moved in there a couple of years ago. We are tickled with it. We're in a little building, and we were all like little sardines in there, and now we can spread out and do what we need to do. That's our address and telephone number. If anybody needs to contact us during business hours, that's how you can get a hold of us. This is the Kingston Police Department mission statement, and I'm going to read this. We take pride in our mission statement. The mission of the Kingston Police Department is to protect lives and property in a professional manner. We will deliver superior law enforcement services with integrity and pride to our community. We will strive to demonstrate respect towards the people we serve and maintain an environment of trust. Our commitment and philosophy at the Kingston Police Department is to accept individual responsibility and accountability for our actions, to work together as a team with loyalty, honesty, dedication, and to protect and serve our community to the best of our ability. That pretty much sums up all of law enforcement, but this is just for the police department. go over this as just my I Love Me page, I guess. Lived in Kingston all my life. My parents, my mom was an Orrin. My grandparents lived here. He was a brick mason, my grandpa was. He built half of Roane County. But like I said, I graduated Roane County High School in '95, then I went on to Roane State and graduated from there in '97. How I got in law enforcement was through Roane State. Went first to go through, I guess, physical therapy. That was going to be my major. Well, there was a 2-year waiting list to get into that program, so I had to take these electives that they make you take. Well, I got into criminal law, court proceedings, and I fell in love with the subjects. Back then, they had a ride-along program with the sheriff's office, and I got involved in that. Once it's in your blood, you can't get it out of your blood. That's what I love to do. So instead of going and making money doing a job, I got into police work. What I want to talk this evening about is safety and awareness. A lot of it is the physical aspect of it, but a lot of it is mental, how you carry yourselves every day, just the little things that you do day in and day out that you don't realize it right now, but your actions can make you more vulnerable to be a victim. And that's what we want to try to get out of the way. We want to take that opportunity away from people. My objectives are to identify the times and places where we need to practice safety and awareness. We need to identify the daily routines which may result in victimization and identify possible solutions that may reduce that victimization. Where do we need to practice safety and awareness? Anybody? Exactly, anywhere, all the time. Why do people resort to crime? Give me some ideas. Drugs, you got addictions, what else? Alcohol, that falls under addictions, absolutely. The economy, first thing. People do not have jobs right now. They don't make the money that they need to make to survive every day. So what do they resort to? They steal, they shoplift, they get whatever they need to get, however they need to get it. Addictions like we talked about. Who here has been affected by somebody in their family that has some kind of an addiction, whether it be drug, alcohol, or anything else? Exactly, I have too. My family has. Those people that are affected by those addictions, are they the same people you knew before they had that addiction? They do drastic things, right? They do things that are not normal to them, whether it be going out and stealing, either from their family or other members of society. They might resort to violence. They're going to do what they've got to do to get that hit, is what we call it. If they need to go steal a chainsaw off of somebody's porch to take it to a pawn shop to make $20, that's what they're going to do. Opportunity. We make it too easy for some of these people to do that. What do I mean by that? We leave stuff out. We're walking around, we're not paying attention to people. We've got our cell phones. You know, how many people do you see walking down the sidewalk and they're sitting here texting, or they're on the phone driving? Run over everybody. Opportunity. We got to take that opportunity away. Some people are just plain mean. That's how they were raised. We don't need to work. We don't need to have a good job. We don't need to pay for our own items that we want or need. Let's take it from somebody else. We're a victim of our own upbringing sometimes. Oh, too many. TIBER stats. TIBERS is a statewide system that we have to report any kind of offense to. All police departments have to report to this statewide system. It makes no sense how we report this. It's a state system. It makes no sense. They want you to report some things, but not other things. So the goal of TIBERS is to, I guess, follow crime trends in an area. Well, how can they follow crime trends when they don't want you to report all these, but they do want you to report these? So use the numbers as you will. Does everybody here live in Roane County? Anybody live outside of the county? Okay, what I've done, I've went through our TIBER stats, and these stats that I'm going to give you are for 2012. And what I've done, I've included Kingston City, Harriman City, Rockwood, Oliver Springs, and then all of Roane County altogether. These are the ones that I broke down. This is just in Roane County. These are the number of reports that are reportable. Burglaries, thefts from building, thefts from a vehicle, vandalism, destruction and damage, aggravated assault, simple assault, robbery, fraud, and weapons law violations. Have any of y'all been a victim of any of these crimes? Have you? Here's the numbers. For 2012, there were 453 burglaries reported in Roane County, whether that be in one of the cities or out in the county. 331 thefts from buildings. That could be any kind of outbuilding or anything not attached to your house or your residence. Theft from a vehicle. That might be somebody smashing in the window to grab something out of your vehicle, or it might be, if you left your car unlocked, them opening it up and taking something out of it. Vandalism, destruction, or damage. Some of these coincide with the other offenses that I've just talked about. They might have to break a window to steal something out of your car or your house. You're going to have a vandalism that goes along with it. 330 of those. Aggravated assaults, 104. That means there was a weapon involved or somebody sustained some kind of injury from it. Simple assault, 316 of them. Robbery, 11. Fraud, 68. That could be a check fraud, that could be credit card fraud, that could be identity theft. Weapons law violation, 21. You might not see that they have a weapon on them, but a lot of them do. Talk about different aspects, whether you're at home, in your vehicle, out and about. Maybe you're out exercising or going to some kind of a special event. It's going to start with your residence. Our home is our castle. Why is it our castle? What's in our home right now? Our loved ones, animals, our pets, our other loved ones, all of your worldly possessions. Does everybody lock their doors every time they leave and come out of their house? Do you lock your doors when you're in your house? Things to think about. Why would you risk letting somebody just walk in your house or break in your house and steal your stuff? There's some things that you can do to help prevent this. It's kind of hard to see this. The background is a little dark. It's a house at night. What do you notice about this? There's no lights. How easy would it be for somebody to be standing behind this little bush right here or on this side? A patrol car could drive by. Can you see somebody standing out there? No. Look at the difference in that house. Besides, the electric company's going to love you. Look, all the lights you've got on. Look how the shrubs and everything are trimmed back. You can see all the way around the corners. That doesn't have to be lights that stay on all the time. It can be motion detector lights, anything like that. Light your place up. Whether you're at home or not. They make automatic timers now that you can set, say you're on vacation. Have a neighbor come over, turn your lights on, move your vehicles, do whatever you got to do. Put locks on doors for a reason. They put locks on windows for a reason. Everybody lock their windows? If you're like me during the summer, I've got every window open in my house. I've got the doors wide open if I'm there. Other than that, it's locked up as tight as I can get it. That's your first line of defense. What about your outbuildings? You keep all your weed eaters, your lawnmowers, any kind of, if you got a motorcycle or anything like that. It's in your outbuildings. You going to leave those open? We've had guys before that, we had a deputy several years ago, lived there in Midtown. He was mowing his front yard. He mowed, he weed eated. Well, he set his weed eater down, and he walked to the backyard to do his yard work in the back. Well, somebody evidently needed his weed eater more than he did, because they just walked right by, grabbed his weed eater, and took off. A deputy. They don't care. I got a short video. I can get my IT guy up there. Yeah.
Police in Arizona are hunting for two suspects in a violent home invasion. They are worried that these men may strike again. Three bold criminal suspects caught on tape, allegedly terrorizing an Arizona family in a horrific home invasion. This video, recorded by the homeowner's surveillance camera, is graphic. It shows two men approaching a Tucson home. According to police, they offered first to do some yard work. Then suddenly one man grabs the homeowner and grips him in a chokehold. The second man begins beating him. Two other people come out of the home and are immediately forced back inside at gunpoint. One man drags the homeowner into the house, holding a gun to his head. A third perpetrator enters, darting through the front door. Pima County police were able to identify and arrest this man, Dominic Tyrone Dixon. His two accomplices are still at large.
They could go out, commit additional crimes, and they've been very violent in their approach.
The crooks got away with only wallets and cell phones. No one was seriously injured. But with images like these to work with, police have a better chance of bringing them to justice. And the police say they have information that these same men are already planning more robberies.
How would you like to be in your front yard and somebody come and do that to you? Be wary of these people. If whether you're at home or on the phone or whatever, and somebody knocks on your door, they come to your house and they say, "I'm needing work. I can trim trees. I can do your yard. I can do whatever. I can fix your driveway." Ask them for some credentials of some kind. If you rely on your gut feeling, if these people don't look right, shut the door or don't open the door. Call 911, we'll come check them out. I would rather have 50 calls a day of false calls of, somebody calling. We get calls all the time when Comcast goes around or the phone company comes around, because a lot of times they're in plain vans or alarm companies even. They'll come out and solicit work. We'll go to house to house to house. They're okay, we've checked their credentials, okay? It puts people at ease. Don't hesitate to call us when you see somebody suspicious around your neighborhood, or if somebody calls you, say, "Hey, did somebody call you on the phone and they're wanting money or something like that?" Call us and let us know. Okay, we need to know this, and do it immediately. We get calls a lot that say somebody's leaving for work in the morning. Maybe it's 5 or 6 in the morning. It's still dark. Well, they call us at 9 whenever they get to work and say, "Hey, there was a guy walking around in my neighborhood. He had a black hoodie on, gloves, he was carrying a chainsaw, and a big screen TV. Can you go check him out?" Well, no, that was 3 hours ago. Anything like that, it's not normal. Call us, that's what we're here for. Report any and all suspicious activity, whether it be people, vehicles. If you see increased traffic in an area, when you get descriptions of people, see if you can get clothing descriptions. If they're in a vehicle, what kind of vehicle it might be, what color, make, model. I know I'm not the best at picking make and models of vehicles out, but I can most of the time get the color right. It's a green car and it's 4-door. If you can get a tag number, that would be perfect. We can run the tag and see if it comes back to somebody. Maybe it's somebody that lives in the neighborhood and has a different vehicle. We don't know. But if you don't call us and let us know, we can't check it out. We need you all to be our eyes and ears for us. We're a small department, especially inside the city of Kingston. At any given time, we usually have 2 patrolmen on duty. We work 12-hour shifts. Kingston's a small place, but it's still too big for 2 people to be working. We can't be everywhere at all times. So if you call us, then we'll be there. Increased traffic at a residence, what could that be a sign of? Drug activity, absolutely. Or any kind of, it could be other criminal activity, not just drugs. We see increased activity, we'll set up and watch that place. We'll see if we can get some traffic stops and find out what these people are coming to this house for. Might be legit, they might have a lot of friends that come visit them. We don't know until they check. Immediately. Let me reiterate that. Immediately. Does anybody here not have a cell phone? I don't know. You don't have a cell phone? How do you not have a cell phone? Most people have a cell phone, though, and most of the time they keep them on them at all times, right? Mine's usually connected to my hip. I laid it right over there. I know where it's at all times. It's easy to call 911. Just some ideas to think about and some things to keep in the back of your mind. Lock all doors and windows, including garage doors and outbuildings. I don't care if you're just going to the Rocky Top to get a Coca-Cola because you're out. Lock your doors. Believe it or not, people are watching you just as much as you're watching them, or hopefully they are, or you are. Okay? If you see somebody sitting outside maybe the neighbor's house or something like that, or sitting in a vehicle, they could be casing your place. Okay? They see what you've got. They see that you're out here with a brand new weed eater on the weekends, weed eating your yard, or have a leaf blower or something like that. It don't take but a second for them to walk up. Especially if you've got an open carport. We've got a problem right now. People are walking into open carports and grabbing whatever they can grab. Several years ago, I worked a rash of burglaries when I worked for the county. It was 3 different people, 1 female, 2 males involved in it. They hit 45 residences, I believe, throughout the county. They were stealing their lawnmowers, weed eaters, anything that was not chained down. And what was happening, the people would be at home. The girl would go to the front door, would distract the homeowner, and while she was talking to the homeowner, the 2 guys would come steal everything they had and take off. Charged them with 45 different burglaries, got most of the stuff back from the pawn shop. We've got this new system, it's called Leads Online. What it is it's a internet service that all of the pawn shops in the United States have to report to. When you take something to the pawn shop, you have to sign your name, you have to give them an ID of some kind. Okay? They put down what the item is, how much they're giving for it, the serial numbers, and so on and so forth. That's another thing I need to bring up. Write your serial numbers down on everything you have. Whether you write it down, you can take a picture of it, you can do whatever. Document that somehow, because say you had your weed eater stole, okay? And we think Johnny B. Bad Guy stole it. Okay, we've got his name. We've got a pawn shop. He's took it to the pawn shop on that same day and got $40 out of your brand new weed eater, okay? I don't have a serial number to go along with that. You know, they make them every day. Yeah, we're probably going to be able to charge him based on that. But what if we don't know it's Johnny B. Bad Guy? We have no idea who it is. If we have your serial number, it's going to pop up on that, regardless of where it's at in the United States. We can track that down. So I can't stress enough to write your serial numbers down, not only for just items in your house, jewelry. If you have a lot of jewelry, take pictures of your jewelry. If somebody comes in and pawns you can tell me that somebody stole a solitaire that's this carat and this. I'm not a jewelry person. You're going to have to go to the pawn shop and look yourself, because I'm not going to know your jewelry. You're going to know it. Unless it's engraved, I belong to Jan Sugarman. You're going to be lost with me, okay? Install deadbolts and or secondary locking systems on your doors. Remember, patio doors with glass panels and sliding doors. How many of you have a glass door on the front of your regular front door? Do you have a lock on it? Do you lock it? Do you lock it when your other door's locked also? That's a secondary line of defense, okay? Even if I open that door and Johnny B. Bad Guy's on the back side, and you open that door up and he says, I need to do some yard work, I need some work to make some money. Can you help me? Well, no, not with your hoodie and your hoodie that says I'm a bad guy, don't let me in. You've got that other line of defense there. You've got that other door. Now, not saying that he can't bust that door down if he wanted to get in or she wanted to get in, but that's going to give you a little more time. Be suspicious of anyone who tries to enter your home. If you call the plumbing company, you've got something wrong, and you know that Mr. Plumber is going to be there at 3 o'clock and he shows up, that's a pretty safe bet that that's the right person. If you've got somebody that shows up, hey, I hear that you've got a problem or whatever, 911, I've got somebody here that somebody needs to be checked out, okay? You can remain anonymous if you're one of those that are worried about the neighbors coming to your house and you see a patrol car. You can say, I've got somebody here. It might be my neighbor's kid. He might be breaking into something. I don't want my name involved. I don't want any record of that I called. This phone's going to self-destruct in 3 seconds. And Central Dispatch is not going to give your name out, okay? We're going to have your phone number, but unless there is a dire need for us to call, we're not going to contact you and harass you or anything like that. Install peepholes in your door. Have a way to look out. A lot of people have cameras even on the front side of their doors. Know who you're opening that door for, because you don't know who's on the other side. He or she, either one, might be clean cut wearing a suit. That don't mean they can't commit a crime. Doesn't mean they can't come in and hurt you. Again, going back to the light, replace all your light bulbs outside if you can. Keep trees and shrubs around the doors and windows trimmed. Why is that? What's the first thing? They can hide. Some trees they can actually use to climb up to get into one of your windows. If you're going to have something like that underneath your windows, have one of those thorny things. It's going to hurt them, the ones that you hit when you go mow every time and you're bleeding. Get one of those. If you're within the city, you can join our neighborhood watch group if your neighborhood doesn't already have that. And I've got some contact information for our neighborhood watch guy. His name is Larry Cox with Kingston Police Department. I'm sure the other cities have one also. And Sheriff Stockton, I think they have a similar program. Keep a phone in your bedroom. Why? What if you're asleep at night? You hear somebody rattling your front door. You gonna get up and look? Who's gonna come to your house at 3 o'clock in the morning when everybody that lives in your house is already there? Are they there for a good reason? Probably not. If there's an emergency, you're gonna need your phone anyway. If somebody next door cut their leg off and you need to call 911, they don't have a phone, you're gonna need that anyway. Keep it with you. Don't give information to strangers on the phone. You get these solicited calls all the time. That's why I got rid of my home phone. Usually, unless you have somebody that lives in Guadalajara, don't believe when they call and say you've got a family member that's in jail and they need $2,000 wired to them right then. Don't fall for that, please. So many people fall for stuff like that and they lose a ton of money. Okay? Most of them are scams. You can look it up on the internet. There's all kinds of different phone numbers that you can see. You can type in a phone number in Google, and it'll tell you if there's a scam related to that phone. Look that stuff up. Never tell anyone you live alone. Why? A lot of criminals are chicken. They don't want 2 against 1. They don't want 3 against 1. They think you live there with somebody. They think somebody the size of me is in a house, and they think somebody the size of Chief Washam's in the house. You think they're going to come in? They're going to be they might go to the next door. Neighborhood Watch, one of the best programs that I mean, if it weren't for the citizens that we service, them calling us and giving us information, we couldn't do our jobs half of what we do. We have got to have the cooperation of the citizens. Whether you live in the city or out in the county, become friends with your law enforcement. They can help you, you can help them. Like I said, your name doesn't have to come out in everything. A lot of people watch too much TV where somebody calls and snitches. Next thing they know, they end up in a ditch. That does not happen like that, okay? Don't watch CSI so much. This is the contact information for Officer Larry Cox. If you're interested in the Neighborhood Watch program, give him a call. He can set something up for you. He can set up for the whole neighborhood. They'll have a Neighborhood Watch meeting and get everybody involved if that's what's wanted. Where else do we spend a lot of our time? In your vehicles. What all do you have in your vehicle? Pardon? Garage door opener. What else? Radios, GPS units, computers, laptops, tablets. Ladies, carry your purse with you. Purse is in there. What's in your purse? Everything. Okay? I'm not one of those women that carry a purse because I can't keep up with one. I brought one for just to demonstrate today. But I forget mine everywhere I go, so I don't carry one. Do you lock your doors when you're in your vehicle? When you get out of your vehicle? Most cars nowadays, if you've got a newer car, as soon as you put it in gear, the doors automatically lock. That's for a couple of good reasons, okay? First of all, it helps you if you're ever involved in a crash. It helps, it's part of the security system built in with the vehicles. Second of all, if you're at a red light and you're in an area, maybe East Knoxville somewhere, and you've got bad drug dealers on this side and prostitution on this side, do you feel comfortable sitting there at the red light? No. If my doors don't going to lock, they're going to lock then. And the gun's going to be out and we're going to be ready. Car burglaries are a crime of opportunity. We need to remove that opportunity by locking your doors and secure your valuables. Kingston is full of beautiful parks and walking trails all around the city, and people use those. They feel comfortable in going to the city park or 58 Landing or Southwest Point or even in Harriman at Riverfront Park. They pull up, they park their car. Do they look around? No. Johnny B. Bad Guy is sitting in 3 cars down and watching you. What's he watching you do? He's watching maybe a female get out of her vehicle to go walk. She's got her little exercise pants on and we're ready to walk. Get out of the vehicle. Men know that women carry purses and they're not going to be too far from them, right? Most women stick them up under the seat, right? What's that guy seeing? Seeing you getting out of a car, you don't have your purse with you, so it's going to be somewhere there close. What's he got to do as soon as you get out of sight? He's going to grab a big rock that's right there next to the walking trail, and he's going to smash your window, and he's going to grab your purse and take off. Now, you're without your purse, you're without your credit card, your ID, maybe your Social Security card, your money. If your car has it, or anything that's loose in your vehicle, you've got other valuables like your GPS unit, your laptops. They're looking inside your car to see what they can grab quick that they can make a buck from. Okay? What do they have if they have your GPS? How many people have their home address programmed as home? So what do they have? Take it out. Take it out. Put somewhere a public place as your home. Put the Kingston Police Department's address. Surely you can find your house from the Kingston Police Department. Or somewhere close, you know what I mean? Pick the Walmart parking lot, it doesn't matter. Don't program your home address into your GPS as your home. Garage door opener, she mentioned. Because if they got your GPS, we're going to your house, it's going to take me right to it, and I'm going to hit your garage door, and I've got free reign into your house. Another good point. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. All that information. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because they've already got your purse. Plus, in your purse, you've got your driver's license, right? It's in there. It's got your address. What else does it have on it? Your date of birth. You've got your Social Security card. It's probably in there. Maybe your kid's Social Security card. What else do you need to go online to get you some credit cards in somebody else's name? That's all you need. Identity theft, that's what it's going to. People can get online and do whatever they need to do. They don't have to have the physical documents with them. Do you think these people care that you've got to sit at Social Security office for 6 hours trying to get a replacement card? No. Do they care that you've got to go back and get a new driver's license? Another thing to think about, your credit cards. How many carry 5 or more credit cards with them? Nobody? I'm the only one? Mine quit working, so it don't matter. How many carry more than one credit card with them? Okay. Do you know that number off the top of your head? If somebody steals your purse and takes your credit cards, do you have the number on the back of that card to be able to call and cancel that card? Something to think about. Do you know which cards you have? Can you tell me right now what the names are on your cards? I mean, is it a Visa? Is it a Chase? Is it a MasterCard? Is it a Discover? Whatever. Can you tell me? I told you I brought one for demonstration, okay? You can tell I don't carry a purse because the only thing in it is a piece of aluminum foil. I carry my wallet, and I don't carry this all the time. And this comes back to me being on patrol. You don't get out of a patrol car and go in to grab you a quick bite to eat and carry your purse with you because you got your gun. You got 30 pounds of gear on you at all times. So what I always did, carry something like this. Knock my mic off. I've got my ID, I've got my driver's license, and I've got a credit card. I know exactly what's on there. Okay? In my wallet, which I keep at my house, you can tell. Of course, I took my driver's license and put it in here. I've got my driver's license, all my IDs, all these credit cards that I never use. I've got my checkbook. I've got my police ID. I've got money, very little, mostly change. All that's gone. So if somebody steals my wallet, and I've got 25 credit cards in here, most of them are one of these. You sign up for a credit card right now, and I'm going to give you 20% off. I got millions of them in here. I don't use them, but can somebody else use them? Absolutely. My suggestion to you was go somewhere, make a copy front and back of your credit cards. Keep them in a safe place. It don't have to be with you. Don't have to lock it up in your house somewhere. If you've got a safe in your house or if you've got a safe deposit box at the bank, stick all that in there, along with photographs of your serial numbers like I talked about, jewelry that is expensive jewelry that if somebody were to steal it, then you know you're going to be all over the place with it. And keep that updated. I don't know about you, but every 4 or 5 years might get a new TV or something like that. I want all that in there. What else does that help with? Say if something were to happen in your home, a fire, that's going to help with your insurance. Several different things it can help with. These are some things you keep in your vehicle. Like I said, your purse, your ID, your Social Security. Men, wallets, they do the same thing. Don't let them kid you. They get tired of sitting on that big wallet, so they'll take that wallet out and they'll stick it in the console. Same deal. Somebody sees a guy out walking, they know their wallet's not going to be far from them, okay? If you get out to walk, and I know Jan walks quite a bit, her and Norm do. They're fortunate enough to live close where they don't have to drive and park. Say you do have your purse with you, and you want to lock it up in the trunk. If you drive a car and you have a trunk and you can lock something up in your trunk, yeah, you're better off than putting it under the seat somewhere because it is harder to get into a trunk. But thinking about it like this, if you have a newer car, somebody were to break inside your car and they see you 15 minutes before that, put your purse in the trunk, all they got to do is break into your car and hit that trunk release button. They have it. So if you're going to lock something up in your trunk somewhere, do it prior to you arriving on that scene, okay? If you know you're going to the Food City first and then you're going to go walk, while you're at Food City before you get in your car to go walk, go ahead and lock your purse up right then. You know, if you get pulled over between the Food City and the park and somebody needs to see your driver's license and they say, it's in my trunk, we'll let you get it out of the trunk, okay? Show another video. This is a new trend that's coming up. It's called sliding. Do you lock your vehicles when you're getting gas? When you're out of your vehicle, do you lock your doors? Watch this, you probably will afterwards.
It happens in an instant. Watch as this man snatches a purse in a matter of seconds. Police call them sliders for the way these gas station thieves cagily slide between the top of your door, lying in wait for just the right moment to pounce and run off with your valuables. And this morning, police say these types of crimes are on the rise. Watch what happens at this Texas gas station. This car pulls up next to a woman who's pumping gas. She is oblivious to the man next to her. He brazenly slides right into her car, grabbing her purse and running off before she can even blink. She chases after him, but to no avail. From Corbin, Kentucky to Tampa, Florida, these slippery sliders are being caught on camera all across the country. Sometimes the perp is caught red-handed. This man gives chase after witnessing a sliding. But most of the time, the victim has no idea until it's too late.
They're not looking for a confrontation. They just want the property because they know it's being left abandoned and you're not paying enough attention.
At this Houston gas station, a woman pulls up and walks inside as a man in the next vehicle cases the inside of her car, and she returns to the pump. Then the slider strikes. The woman never realizing she's been robbed.
It's very scary that someone could just surprise you and just steal all of your belongings.
It's yours, protect it. And the easiest way to protect it is keep it locked up, keep it with you, and don't leave it in the vehicle unoccupied.
Again, as that officer just said, lock your doors or keep your purse by your side. Don't put it on the pump. Don't put it on the top of the car. It's just too easy to get ripped off.
If that were to happen, how long would it take you to realize that that's what happened to you? You're going to be going through your mind, Lord, I went to the Walmart, I went to the Dollar General store, did I leave it on the counter somewhere? You're going to be frantically calling everybody when it has nothing to do with it. Did I hit a wrong button? Oh, sure. This is the same type situation, it's just a different video. Tells you what they're doing. The suspect vehicle, a silver Mustang, arrives to look for potential victims. Here comes your victim vehicle. It's the SUV that just pulled up. Suspect vehicle sees it. This might be good. So he's going to move into a better place so he can see exactly what's going on. Watching. We're waiting for them to get out. They might be on their cell phone. They're not paying any attention. I just got a phone call. I'm talking to somebody about where we're going to meet to go eat here in a little while, so we're not going to pay attention. This vehicle's going to drive right around. Did you notice the time lapse on that? From the time they pulled around to get into position right next to that vehicle, it was less than 20 seconds for them to reach in and grab that purse. Do you know what's in your vehicle? Can you tell me right now, do you have your computer? Do you have your GPS? Do you have your purse? Do you have your husband's wallet still in the console? Do you have a $100 bill on the visor in your little pouch right there? Do you have serial numbers for your valuables? I'm not saying you got to keep them programmed in your phone or anything like that, but have them to where they're available somewhere. Do you keep a spare or a key on your vehicle? One of those little hide-a-key magnetic things? People look for those. If you know they're there, You know, people, all they got to do is run their hand underneath your wheel well when they're walking by. They've got the key. They don't have to break in. Does that look suspicious if somebody's got a key? You know, they don't see them walking by and running their hand underneath the wheel well or underneath the front bumper or the back bumper. But when they walk, they see somebody with a key walk up and open up a car. Does that look suspicious? Or is somebody going to call over that? No. Again, your GPS, don't program your home address into it as home. Pick something close by. Does anybody go to work or come home or anything like that while it's still dark? Do you? Leaving early in the morning, maybe? Come home late at night? Work nights. So, when you leave work to come home, do you work at a public place where there's lots of cars, or is it just a small place or hospital? So there's usually lots of cars there, okay? Somebody gets into your car. Say, you know, you're walking up and you've had a rough night at the hospital. You get in your driver's side door. Would you notice if somebody broke out your back window on the other side? Maybe, maybe not. Could somebody be sitting in your back seat? Absolutely. You get in, you're wore out, you sit in your seat, and all of a sudden it's like the horror movie. You look up in your rearview mirror and you got somebody in the back seat. All they got to do is reach around, pull a gun. You're a hostage. Look in your back seat. When approaching the vehicle to enter it, have your key in your hand and check the back seat. Why would you have your key in your hand? First of all, you got to unlock your car, right? But what could that be used for? Absolutely. Poke their eyeballs out. Somebody tries to hurt you. Do whatever you've got to do. If you're walking out, whether you're at a mall, in a church, or in a shopping center, or at a school, hospital, wherever, if you walk out and you see somebody in close proximity to your vehicle, you don't feel comfortable, go with your gut feeling, okay? Get off that cell phone, quit texting while you're walking, and pay attention to who's around you. There's somebody in that close proximity and you don't feel right about it, you don't have to walk to your car. Go get somebody. Call 911. A police officer will come escort you to your car. We'll check on somebody. Go with your gut feeling. Once you're in your vehicle, keep your doors locked. Why? Again, the crash thing is one thing. Second of all, nobody can come in on you. Be suspicious of people approaching your car. How many times have you been stopped somewhere, whether it be a red light, stop sign, or just stopped in a parking lot somewhere and somebody walk up to you, knocking on that window? Open up. Do you roll your window down? Most people do. I do. I'm guilty of these things. Is that smart? No. When stopping in traffic, leave enough distance between your car and the one in front of you so you can pull away quickly if necessary. Why? Somebody's trying to get in on my vehicle while I'm stopped, and you're riding that bumper of the car right in front of you. What are you going to do? Just keep ramming them until you get them out of the way? Leave yourself an exit. And I was bad about that until I got in law enforcement. I mean, at a stop sign or anywhere, and I realized that one day I was right behind somebody at a red light. We got a hot call. It was a crash somewhere, and there was people injured and everything else. Well, I couldn't move. So I'm sitting there with my blue lights going, my siren going, and well, I can't go nowhere. Be alert when using ATMs, especially the drive-up ATMs at night. During the day, it doesn't matter. If you see somebody standing around or somebody sitting on the curb, pick another ATM. Go somewhere else. If it's open during the day, just walk in the bank. If you're confronted, don't resist giving up your vehicle. It's not worth it. It's not worth getting hurt over your vehicle. Once you arrive at your destination, lock your vehicle again. Always lock your vehicle. Okay? So many times that we've had in subdivisions, let's just say subdivisions, I won't go into details, subdivisions where we've had guys that we've had a rash of break-ins, car burglaries, and the only ones they're picking are the ones that are unlocked. They go around and check those because that's the easy ones. Let's hit those. We're not going to make noise because the houses are set right next to each other, right? Everybody hears everything. Everybody knows what their neighbors are doing, anything anyway. So we're just going to ease these doors open right quick, grab what we can, and go. Lock your doors. A lot of these exercise people, they want to park and go to Walmart, and you park at the back 40 because you want to walk and you want to lose that third of a pound getting to the front door. Park as close as you can to the building. Couple reasons. There's usually more people there, right? What else might be there? Cameras. You've got store security cameras, and most of them are right there on the front of the building. They don't care what happens in that back 3 aisles of the parking, okay? They're after their stuff, so if they get a shoplifter that runs out with some items, they know which vehicle they're going to. Be aware of exterior lighting. Park somewhere that's well lit, especially if you're going to maybe a ball game in Kingston. Not the best parking. You're parked on sidewalks. You're parked everywhere. If you can find somewhere around a lighted area, it's always better. You can see who's around. You can see if somebody's sitting in a vehicle, maybe 2 or 3 cars down from you, that may be watching you. Again, if it's at night, have somebody with you if you can, okay? If not, have somebody walk with you. Get somebody. There's always an officer around a ball game. There's hit 911. Hey, there's somebody walking around my car. I don't feel comfortable. Can you have somebody come out? Absolutely. We're going to be there. Don't leave valuables in plain view of your vehicle. I don't know how many car break-ins that we've worked at the parks especially. We've had to get actually security cameras put up in all of our parks because of this. Women get out and they leave their purse right in the front seat. Guys, wallets right in the front seat. A brand new cell phone right in the front seat. You got to help us help you sometimes, okay? Again, notify us immediately if you see anything. What if you're just out and about? Talk about walking, going to these special events, shopping, going to concerts. Things to think about. Where do you park? Again, sometimes it's on the sidewalk. Sometimes they have parking garages. How do you carry yourself? And what I mean by that, you walking around like this. You walk to the front door like this where you're not paying attention to anybody. You walk head down. Or you got your cell phone on. I'm talking, or better yet, texting. People have walked into stuff, buildings, texting. You sit there and watch them. They're not paying attention to what's around them. Again, lighting is a big thing. Preoccupied, like I said, the cell phone, anything else. What's the most important you take with you everywhere you go? Because it's got everything in your life in here. I mean, I could go through my mama's purse when I was a kid, and you'd had everything from baby teeth to Kleenex to Social Security, anything you'd want. Medication from 4 years ago, it's in there. Protect it. Take stuff out of your purse that is not necessary. There's no need in carrying baby teeth with you, okay? Because in pictures, somebody takes your purse, say your cell phone's in there. Now what are you going to do? If you're like me, your life is on your cell phone. I've got my password stored. I've got everything on my cell phone. I would be absolutely lost. You've got pictures on there that you'll never get back unless you downloaded them, which I never do. Your credit card, your cash, all your identifiers, okay? Wallet, money, credit cards, ID, Social Security card, insurance cards, medication, checkbook, cell phone, kitchen sink, baby teeth. How do you keep them safe and secure? Where do y'all keep your purse when you're at home? Kitchen table? Back of a chair? Around the kitchen table? In the floor next to the front door? Hanging on a hook? In your bedroom? Keep it secure. You might have somebody in your house, whether it be a family member or somebody else. Maybe they bring a friend over. Well, you don't know who this friend is. How hard would it be if your purse is laying by the kitchen door for them to pick something up and you not even have a clue? Well, that's little Johnny's friend. He's not going to take anything from me. It happens. Be careful where you keep it. How do you carry your purse when you're in public? Somebody bring their purse in with them, other than my empty one? Somebody have their purse? How do you carry your purse? Up on your shoulder. You keep hold of it? What's the best way to carry it? I'm going to show you something here in a minute. Carrying my purse, right? What happens usually when you carry your purse like this? It falls off your shoulder just like that. Okay? So, what's the best way to carry it? Keep a hold of it. If you have to, keep a hold of it like this. If you're shopping, and don't leave it in the buggy either, okay? We've got videos of people that just bending over to get a can of beans. Somebody walks up right behind them, grabs their purse, and they're gone. Well, it's 6 aisles before they realize that their purse is gone. People are gone. Keep a hold of your purse. Okay? Some other people, Gene's giving me a motion back here. If you've got a purse with a longer handle on it, a lot of people do this. Yeah, it keeps it closer to you. But what else can happen? Absolutely. Absolutely. They can. So would I rather somebody try to grab my purse or somebody try to break my neck while they're trying to get my purse? I'd rather have my purse. I don't like hospitals. Okay, Gene? Again, always have other people with you. Just keep what you absolutely need in your purse. There's no need in carrying all this good stuff, okay? It's just gonna, if something were to happen, and I'm not saying it will, but if something were to happen and you had to replace everything that you had that was in your purse or mend for the wallet, it's so much easier if you just have the main necessities in there, because it's going to be a headache for you. You might get some items taken that you cannot get back. Don't leave your purse unattended, whether that be at home, without it being secured somewhere that you know that nobody else is going to be able to get into it, in your vehicle, at church. When I first started here, I'd never heard of churches having to have security in their parking lot. My first year working at Kingston, I think we had 2 or 3 rashes of burglaries at different churches. They wouldn't just hit one car. No, we had about 15. All busted windows. Everybody's purses were taken. If you know that you're going somewhere and you don't need everything in your purse, maybe you just need your driver's license, a credit card, put them in your pocket. Leave your purse at home. If you need it later, go home and get it. Don't overburden yourself with packages and groceries that make it hard to react. Anybody go to Turkey Creek? You don't go to one store, right? You park somewhere, then you walk the half mile all the way around, and you hit every store, and you've got a bag from each store, and you've got them on this shoulder, and you're hanging. Well, if somebody were to try to come up and grab you or grab your purse, what are you going to do? Anything that you've got in your hand when you get in a stressful situation is going to remain in your hand. Okay? They teach us in the academy, whatever side you carry your weapon on, you never have anything else in your hand, because you're like a raccoon with your hand in a jar. Once it's there, they're not going to let go. So if somebody comes up and tries to attack me, and I've got my cell phone, and I'm doing something in this, and somebody does something, and I need to react, what am I going to do? I'm going to grab that cell phone. That cell phone can't hurt nobody. My weapon can. okay? So think about that. Your car keys is another thing. Because if somebody comes up, come up here. Somebody comes up and tries to grab me, okay? Say they grab this arm. Okay, she's got my arm, which is where my weapon is, okay? This happens regardless if you've got a gun or not. If you're right-handed, that is your strong arm, your right hand. If I try to hit somebody with this hand, I look like a cartoon character. You can't operate with that. So if I try to hit you like that, I'm not going to have that much force. But if I needed to come across and hit you with my strong arm, you're going to have a little bit more, you can have a seat now, a little bit more pressure with that, okay? What happens if somebody takes your purse? Or men, wallet? What's in your purse? Again, make copies of your credit, debit cards front and back, and leave everything that's not necessary at home. Anybody here do the social media, the Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, all that good stuff? How many have their accounts open to everybody? Where, say I get on here and I want to find Jan Sugarman on here, and I look for Jan Sugarman and I can find everything about her. I know her about, I know where her friends are, I know all that good stuff. There's ways to lock down your accounts to where only people you want to see that stuff can see it, okay? Some people have it open for the whole public to see. That's not a good thing, because what people put on there? Their address, their telephone number. Whether they're married, single, divorced, they know how many people probably live in that house. Some of them put their addresses on there, okay? What else do we post on Facebook? I'm going to fuss at Jan Sugarman. Look at me, I went on vacation. I'm at this airport right now. What does that tell everybody else that has access to her Facebook account? That I'm not at home. Okay? I don't blame you, I wouldn't either. Seriously, and I understand, and that's what social media is for, people. It's to stay connected with friends and family and whoever else you want to stay connected with. That's the whole purpose behind it. But there are some safeguards in there that you need to pay attention with, okay? It's fine to post, I went on vacation. Wait till you get back home and say, oh, I had a great time on vacation. I went here, there, and there. Here's all my pictures. Good to be home. That's what it's for, is to stay connected. And I'm not trying to make everybody paranoid about their everyday lives. I want you to live your lives, but lock it down. Because there are some websites out here, and I had the opportunity 2 weeks ago to go to some training at TBI in Nashville, and it was Internet and Social Media Exploitation. And they taught us how to go in on different websites. And I can search just by your name, or maybe something that's on your profile page, and I can find out. I can go back and I can pull Jan's Facebook up, and I can map wherever you've been, and it shows you how many times that you've been to this place, how many times you've checked into this place, or this place, or this place. I can check all that, okay? And I'm picking on Jan right now because she's the only one I know by name. So, you know. These are the different social medias that I'm familiar with: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. Again, if you post a picture on Instagram, I can go back and I can tell you, if you've got your GPS on your phone turned on, or your iPad, or whatever you make your picture with, I can tell you where you made it, what day it was made. I can tell you where you're at. It's pretty scary, isn't it? You want everybody to know where you're at every given moment? I went to the gym 4 times this week. Well, if you go to the gym 4 times during the week, and it's all about 4:30 in the evening, guess what? That 5th day, chances are pretty good he's going to be going to the gym at this time. I'm going to be at his house because nobody's going to be there. Who can see your information, and what do you post? Be careful of that. And I didn't know this website was out until I went to this training. There's an actual website that's The name of it is www.pleaserobme.com. And it's a way so people can track social media. They check every one of those accounts, and they pick up trends of where you're at. And it goes on how you've checked in or checked out or what times and all that good stuff. And people watch it, not just law enforcement. Criminals watch that. Be sure if you're at a public place and you're on your Facebook account, log out. Because what's connected to your Facebook account? Email address for one. You got to have an email, whether it be a Gmail account or your regular email, so they can go back and search your Gmail. So once they search your Gmail, can they hack into your email? Yeah. Does anybody do online banking connected to your email? Things to think about. Be sure you know who your friends are. People send friend requests. If you don't know who that person is, do you really want to accept their friendship? There's people out there that send, and I can tell you in law enforcement, I've got several bogus email or Facebook accounts. We watch people through them. And we can send friend requests to people, and it might have a picture of a table as the profile picture. Oh, I know that one. And we can see everything that they've got. And criminals will put their criminal activity on pictures. I mean, we've got people that put pictures of money, drugs, and guns all on their Facebook. You think we're going to look into that? Yep, absolutely. We've gotten convicted felons from that before. Convicted felon, not supposed to have a gun within anywhere close to them, and they've got a picture of a rifle. We've indicted them on it before. Don't use the same passwords. If you use Kelly Jackson Detective as my password on Facebook, change it to something else on your Twitter and your other accounts. Don't use the same one, because if somebody gets one password, look, they've got the passwords for everything. There's the website, www.pleaserobme.com. Can you open that one? Maybe. There it is. And there's the guy talking about how to do it. Something to check into when you're bored and don't have anything to do. Look at websites like this. It'll kind of scare you and make you think twice about what you post. I see, it's hard to see that, and I apologize. It kind of automatically done this. Say you get that phone call from Guadalajara, and your cousin Jethro is in jail, and you need $6,000 to get him out, and you fall for this scam, and you go to Western Union and you wire some money somewhere. There's not a whole lot the Kingston Police Department can do about that. The internet is kind of out of our jurisdiction. That's more of a federal level. So what we're going to ask you to do is to go online and go to this www.ic3.gov, and what it does, it files a complaint, and it's a website that is, I guess, hosted by the FBI and Homeland Security and so on and so forth. They're the ones that look into that, okay? If you ever need law enforcement, of course, if it's an emergency, you dial 911. This is the other non-emergency line. If you ever need an officer, we get a lot of calls, and the reason I put this up here, we get a lot of calls. Our office hours are, 8 to 4:30, somewhere around in there. After hours, we've got an answering machine set up, and every morning our secretary Teresa comes in, and we might have 4 or 5 calls, and it's a genuine complaint. Somebody calling and say, "Hey, I need an officer to respond to my house." Well, nobody's going to get that till the next morning. If you need an officer, I don't care what hour of the day it is, 24 hours a day, if it's during business hours or after, you can call that number, the 354-8045. It is the 911 center, but that is the non-emergency line. Do I have any questions? I know I kind of went through this a little bit fast, and there's a lot of information. Are there any? No, we can pop those doors. We can pop the doors. Actually, when you look at the NHTSA website, which is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, if I got that right, they recommend that the doors be locked. It's added security, because if that door is locked and you're in a crash, that gives you more stability on that side of the vehicle. Whereas if it's open, that crash, that impact, it might open it up and compact it even more. No, we would much rather have them locked. Yeah, we've got tools, we can pop those doors open. We can get to you. Yes, ma'am.
You have vehicle registration in your car, which gives them your address, correct?
Sure. It's a good question. One thing that you can do you have a glove box? Does it have a lock on it? Lock it up. That's the best you can do. Some things are inevitable that you've got to carry with you, okay? And that's one of the things, your driver's license and your registration and your proof of insurance, which all are going to have your name and your address on there. Just don't make it as convenient for them. Keep it locked up in a secure place in your glove box if you can, if you've got a lock. If not, hide it in some other papers. Just be able to access it quickly if something were to happen and you need to produce it for some reason. Yes, ma'am. If we need to. We've done it before. And we can go in through a window, or if you've got somebody that's near you, if you trust a neighbor, maybe with a key to your place, or a family member that's close by, we'll contact those. But if we feel that you are in dire need of medical attention, yeah, we're going to get in there to you. Yeah, if we know you're in there and you need help, yeah, door's cheap in the long run. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I think it's about the same, to be honest with you, because most people don't have pick kits that they use to get into your car. Most of them are you're going to use a rock, and they're going to bust a window. The only ones that usually use the pick kits are us when we lock our keys in our car. Done that too, lights and siren on. Carried about 6 of them with me since then. I was at the Rocky Top. We had a call, and I pulled in there, and I still had my lights and siren. I don't know if it was a robbery. I can't remember what the call was, but still had the lights and sirens going. And the car, evidently, that I was in prior to that would not lock when I had the key in the ignition. This one did. So we cleared from the call, and I'm still waiting on the locksmith to show up. They weren't happy, but that's okay. I'm sorry. Did you have a question?
When you call and you've had emergency at the house and call your 911, and then like everybody that has a police scanner hears everything that's on there. So how can you remain anonymous if you have like, oh, my neighbors are doing drugs and they're smoking weed out in the yard, which you know, and then the neighbors have a police scanner and they heard me call on them, and now they gonna break into my house and kill me and my family because I just told on them for smoking weed out in the yard.
Because when you call 911, they're going to say, where's your emergency? Or they're going to answer the non-emergency line, and you're going to tell them, hey, my name is so-and-so.
Then they got you right there.
Well, not necessarily. When you call that, you can either say, my name is so-and-so, or I wish to remain anonymous. Okay? They're going to need your address, but that don't mean, I mean, we get calls all the time, hey, there's drug activity at 311 Ray Street, whatever. We've got to go check that out. Just because somebody calls in and says there's drug activity doesn't mean that gives us the right to go bust their door in to go check and see if there's drugs involved. We have to have probable cause to go into that, okay? Even if, and not everything has to go over the scanner, okay? We get phone calls a lot, okay? And that's from our central dispatch. So if you call 911 or our non-emergency line and you say, hey, I need to talk to an officer about some drug activity, that's all you need to say. And they're going to say, where's the drug activity at? Because we need to know which department that needs to call you. And so we can call you and you can say, hey, I want to remain anonymous. I don't want to get involved in that. We're going to respect that.
So if you do it that way, could you also go to the police department and talk to
Absolutely.
That way?
Absolutely.
And then that way it's really.
Absolutely.
Scanner.
Yeah, but if it's after hours, you still need to call that number because after 4:30, you might find an officer at our police department. Then again, you might not because we're out on patrol. Okay, so you can call that number and you can say, "Hey, I need to talk to an officer." Just say they're going to ask you what it's about, and you can say drug activity, or you can say, "I just need to talk to an officer. We're going to be there." Yeah, you can remain anonymous. Yeah, you can say, "I just want to talk to an officer." If they ask you your name, you just say, "I want to remain anonymous." They're going to have your phone number because that's the 911, and we want that capability because, say, if you call me and somebody's trying to break in your house, that's another thing, ladies. If you're at home and somebody's in your house and you don't know who they are and they're there to cause you harm, you've got your cell phone there. You hit 911 and you lay it down. You don't have to say another word, okay? Because that's going to come through our central dispatch, and they're going to be able to hear every word that's coming across your phone. And they're going to call us and say, "We've got a 911 open line. We're hearing a male's voice and a female's voice in there. Maybe they're fighting, maybe they're not much is saying." We get there and we get there quick because we don't know what's going on. We get these a lot when kids are playing with the phone, but that doesn't matter. We'd rather have 50, bogus calls as to have one real one. Lay them down. You could do the same thing. Good question. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing. That's what she's talking about, the little red button on your key fob if you have one. Absolutely hit it. Because the more noise, and that's another thing, if somebody comes up and tries to attack you, grab you or anything else, I want you to make like a 5-year-old schoolgirl and you just told her she couldn't have no more candy. Scream, throw a temper tantrum if you have to. Don't let them take you somewhere else. Make as much, I don't care if you have to call rape, murder, I don't care. Scream to the loudest as you can. Somebody can hear you. Because if nobody's there, they don't know you're in trouble, how can they help you? Anything else? Sure? Okay. I'm going to introduce Gene Sutton. He's sitting back there so patiently. Huh? I know. Do y'all want a break? Do you want to take a break? They're ready to go. They don't have to go to the bathroom every 3 minutes like you do. You don't need that, do you?
I just have just a few minutes. 4 hours and 25 minutes later, I get to talk. Would you ladies mind moving right over here, please? Thank you. There's two people here I want to tell you about tonight. You could easily be one of them, especially the female. The female was Margaret. The male was Roger. Now, Margaret was 74 years young. She didn't look 50. When she was 72, she was rear-ended by a truck in her car. Hurt her back. Now, she only had one daughter. The daughter took care of her the best she could because her husband had died 10 years prior. 10 years. She lived in a little modest house on a street with houses. She had a little flower garden out back that she attended to. And her daughter would work Monday through Friday. Saturday or Sunday, she would come and pick Margaret up, and they'd go to Walmart and get groceries. She'd get her medicine. She took oxycodone. Okay, we'll stop right there. Roger. Roger was 38 years old. He was on pain pills, something awful, and had been since he was 15 years old. Been in and out of jail, in and out of prison. any kind of drug you could think of, he had taken it. He wasn't really a bad guy, he was just a nuisance. He would break in your house and steal your medicine. He's even left money laying on the counter and take your drugs. So what he would do, he would go to Walmart and a lot of the drugstores, and he would sit down where you pick up your medicine. Okay, you know most people, you're standing behind them and you're talking, you're waiting. Most people will tell the person behind them what all's wrong with them. Well, my back, my back and my legs, oh, my knees, my shoulders. I've had 10 operations. See, they'll tell their life story in 10 minutes. Roger is sitting there listening. He's listening. He knows you've got trouble. He knows you're buying oxycodone or some other real strong painkiller. He knows you're doing it. So what he does, see, his living was a carpenter. He was a real good carpenter, real good. But the pills, if he'd work a day and get a little money, he was gone. He wouldn't work no more. No one would hire him anymore. So he would steal your pills and sell them, take so many of them himself. So what he did, he saw Margaret, and Margaret was talking to this lady. I've had a back problem for a long time. I've had it operated on. We had a car wreck one time. Well, he hears this. He hears it. How many people you met? How many people have you met at the drugstore that tells you their life history? Haven't you? Yes, you have. You have. They're there and they'll do it. They'd like to be, and especially the old people. The old people, the older people than us, they are lonely. Most of them is lonely. They like to talk. They don't get to talk all the time. So Margaret, no one come and seen Margaret now except Saturday or Sunday. Roger goes up and down the street here. He checks her house out because he followed them home. Now, after a week, he saw no man was there. No man. The weekend, he did the same thing. See, in different days, he's checking out other homes. He sees Margaret go out around back. She has a little flower garden. She likes this little sundress, little hat. She don't take those pills every day. Maybe once a week, maybe twice. So she goes out and works her flower garden. Her and her husband, they had lived there for 30-something years in that house prior to his death. And she'd go out and fix those flowers and had her little foam thing that you put your knees on, you've seen those things, and she'd get down and she'd pull and weed and work. So she was out here on this particular day, and it was on Friday. She was down on her knees, and all of a sudden, somebody grabbed her by the hair of the head. Grabbed her. Let's go in the house. Now, Roger's hopped up on pills. He's hopped up. She said, "Are you going to hurt me?" He said, "No, I'm not going to hurt you. I want your pills." And he took her in by the hair of the head, had her hair, wadded up in her hands, in his hands, and took her in, and led her right to the medicine cabinet. He got the medicine, come back, and he says, in his interview now, the reason why I know this is we saw his interview and saw her interview. He says, I'm hopped up, said she don't look bad at all, and said, I asked her, said, "Oh, woman, how long has it been since you had a real man?" She said, "Well, it's been a while." So he takes her in to the dining room and shoves her up over the table. Right then, he decided to rape her. Right then. So he changes hands and gets another handful of hair, pushes her head down and hits her head on the table 30 times. Said, "Don't you move, don't you move." And he pulls up her dress and drops her panties. Okay, now as she was walking back to that table, she saw an N on tennis shoes. An N. What's an N mean? Yeah, New Balance. Okay? Now he holds her in this hand and he drops his pants. She could look back this way and she sees blue jeans. See, she's identifying. Okay, he is trying to take her from behind. He's trying to penetrate her from behind. She says, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Said, you're right. It's been a while since I had a man. Let me help you. What did he do? He relaxed his hands. And she reached around and got a hold of him. And when she did, he was crying like a wildcat. She got him and got him down. She heard him. She got him down in the floor. She was scratching and pulling and beating everything she could do with that man's private stuff. She was hurting him. Okay, she knew up the street, 3 houses up, across the street, they were roofing the house. She finally turned him loose and took off and ran out through there on rape, help, scream. She was screaming. Roger's still laying in the floor. He's hurting. He's hurting. The men from the roofing company came down and helped Roger till the police got there. Now, that woman had an attitude. Her attitude was, I was going to survive no matter what happened. See, that's what you have to do. You have to put yourself in her position. Will you survive? You going to lay around and cry? No, no. See, her attitude. And then what did she do? She surprised him. She surprised him. Let me help you. It's been a while. She surprised him. She got a hold of him. She heard him. And then she made her escape. She escaped. Then she identified what she could of this person. So her A was attitude. S was surprise. E was escape. And I was identify. Try to remember that. Try to remember that. See, it could happen to any of us. It could happen. Anything like that could happen. Now, anybody got any questions? That's a true story, folks. True story. That actually happened. That happened. What's that? What happens if he's not high? Well, he's still attempt rape. You understand what I'm saying? He still attempted to rape her, even though he wasn't. If he wasn't high on drugs, he still had a rape charge or attempt to rape. You know what I'm saying? And see, you never know what state of mind these people's in if they come in on you. And they do that. These people that goes around to the drugstores, you'd be surprised at them sitting there. You'd be surprised at people sits on the front row in a suit, what they do. You'd be surprised. And you will never know what we know until you walk in our shoes, what we've seen, what we've heard, what we've been, and what, we've seen it. We've seen about anything and everything you possibly think of. I went in law enforcement in 1967. And from then until now, only 4 years I did not have a badge, and that was in the 70s. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot of investigation. Even though I worked at the plants up here, I was a security analyst. I can't hardly whistle. They took some of my teeth out. I've been in the dentist today. I didn't know I was going to make it here tonight, but I did. I was just a security analyst, but I still did investigations. Not only for the Department of Energy, but for certain district attorneys around. And there's all kinds of stuff going on. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Right now we have a lady that, well, I guess she's a lady. I caught her in our church parking lot down in Climbersville. She was in one of our deacon's vehicle. Her and her partner runs around together. And what she'll do, if she comes to your house, she may want to use your phone. He'll go around to the back, and she'll keep you occupied while he goes through, if he can get in your house. Yes, you need to keep the doors locked. And here's how I am. Now, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anyone or anything. But when I put my pants on, I put a gun on. Now, the reason why I do that, not because I'm afraid. All I want is a fighting chance. And if you give me a fighting chance, I'll survive. See, when we go out, as police officers, when we go out, we have a survival bag. And it's right here. It's our wits. That's how we survive. Now, I'd rather have my gun and not need it. It's need it and not have it. Because I have been in that situation twice to where I needed a gun. And all I could do was back down a dark road in my little truck at 4:15 in the morning because they'd blocked the road on me and was going to, whatever they was going to do, I don't know. They didn't get a chance. So now I carry it with me. And you ladies, you can have a gun in your house. It's not a crime to have a gun in your house. If you don't have a handgun permit, you can keep it in your house. You can carry it on your property. You can go out in your yard with it. It's yours. But when you leave your property, you need a handgun permit. Okay, now, would you be feared for your life? Okay, see, that's the key word. Feared for your life. Yeah, see, your level of fear is resident to where deadly force is justifiable. You're scared for your life. See, your house is where we go, shut the doors, close the world out. Is that not right? We don't want to be bothered. But you're not safe in your house. You're not safe in this church. You're not safe out on the street. You're not safe anywhere you go. There's always a chance of someone coming in. And see, we also do church security. The chief and I do church security. If you want us to come and see how you operate this church, especially about you taking up your money, your offering, how you do it, where you count it, there's all kinds of places I can hide in this church. And when they come out with the money, I'd have them. I've already seen it. Yes, ma'am. You have, the thing about it, if you're outside, okay, let me put it this way. Okay, you've got a gun, you're outside on your porch. Okay? Someone like as big as Chief Washington comes running at you, screaming, and, would you be feared for your life? Okay? You'd probably be more justifiable in shooting them than if you told him, I'm going to come over and beat your brains out. Would he be scared? No. See what I'm saying? And you would have to prove without a shadow of a doubt that you was feared for your life, and you would be. You would be. See, that's what we teach in our gun class. In our gun class, I run a business.
Is it better to go ahead and kill them, or is it better to go ahead and take legs?
No. You try to shoot them in the leg, and they'll come over and take that gun away from you because how much shooting do you do? How much shooting do you do?
Well, not often, but
You could, but that's a different story now when someone's coming after you and that little old target up there you're shooting at. It's a different story when bullets come flying at you. I've had them flying at me several times in different places.
there are different roles if you shoot them in the leg and they kind of come at you at the end, or you just go ahead and kill them.
Let me tell you. Okay, listen to me just a minute. If you come to my class, you'll be trained to shoot center mass right here. All the vital organs is right here. If you hit a vital organ, that person's going to go down. Period. So they die. Too bad. You got them off of you, didn't you? Okay. I don't suggest shooting them in the leg or trying to shoot them in the leg. I don't suggest trying to shoot them in the head. I don't suggest that. You're not that good a shot. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to be scared. Yeah, you're going to be scared. You're going to be scared. Believe me. You're going to be scared. Somebody shooting at you, coming at you? Yes, ma'am. No. I have a small business called Small Arms Training. And I teach once a month at Jerry's Bait Shop in Rockwood. $55 a person. You shoot 50 rounds that day. You do everything in one day. We don't do it for a living. We do it for community service, but I've got instructors that are certified that I have to pay. We will look at your weapon before you shoot it, yes. Because a lot of people will bring Grandpa's old 32 and it won't. I suggest something that you know you can use that don't have all the bells and whistles on it, that all you have to do is pull it out and pull the trigger. I can't tell you what kind of gun to carry, and don't let nobody else tell you what kind of gun to carry. You go feel them, touch them, see them, and a good place to do it is down G&G, down behind, y'all know where that is, behind the little rocky top down there at Greg White. That's the place to go. Linda Johnson's husband. That's a good place. No, ma'am. I don't know where you got that information. I'll tell you what. In 1970, I was working in Knoxville. There was a homeless man shot with a .22, one shot, over behind the bus station up by the railroad track on 5th Street. When they did the autopsy on him, that bullet, that little .22, had split in 5 different sections. One went through his heart, lungs, into his spleen, and his colon, I believe it was, nose place. And Dr. Bass over there, Dr. Bass, he said, that's the worst I've ever seen anybody shot with .22. So no, if I carry .22 and I shoot your front tooth out, the fight's over. See, I can shoot. You know, I've been shooting for years. I was a sponsored shooter. I went all over the United States shooting. I brought them back trophies. I can shoot with either hand. Now, my eyes is changing a little bit. I'm not as good as I used to be, but I'm still pretty good. Aren't I, Chief? Still pretty good. Still pretty good. I can shoot. And see, that's what we do. We train you to shoot. We teach you to shoot. We teach you how to shoot. We teach you the proper way to hold the gun. That's what we do in our class. You bring your own handgun and a full box of ammunition. Now, if you don't have a handgun, we will furnish you a handgun. All we want you to do is pay for the ammunition. And see, most of the time we will start you with a .22. Most of the time. If you want to graduate up to a 38, you can. A .380 or a .32, semi-automatics is different than wheel guns. Most women that I know carries 5-shot .38s. Most women. But like I said, I won't tell you what to carry because you've got to carry something that you have confidence in, that you can use, and you know you can use it, and you feel confident carrying it. Any questions? Anything we covered? Anything? 21. You have to be 21 to go to the class. What about knives? Okay. You want to carry a knife? Well, let me tell you about a knife. And I've seen it happen to 2 police officers. 21 foot. If someone pulls a knife on you, within 21 feet, they can be on you and cut you before you can draw and shoot them off of you. 21 feet. Now they have raised it to 30 feet. A friend of mine, police officer in Knoxville, had backed up as far as he could. He was against a brick wall, and he shot right here like this. The guy was right here with a knife, cutting on him. Yeah, they can be on you and cut you. So if someone pulls a knife on me, I'm drawing this Glock out, and they're gonna be trouble. And I'm scared of mine. I got cut one time. I don't like to be cut. Now, anything we covered here tonight on that you ladies would got any more questions? I'll give you something here in a minute. I'll give you something. Kelly, come here. Didn't Kelly do a good job? Didn't she do a good job? Yeah, she did. She did. You did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
I appreciate everybody coming out. I hope this maybe opened your eyes and made you think a little bit more about what you might do on a daily basis, that you might be able to change a little bit to be more aware and to be more secure. Is there anything else that you all would like to have us cover in the future? Okay.
Like a public place, like a gym, that's for a subdivision. Do you know, is there any law requiring like cameras for there, or are they not required to do that?
Not to my knowledge, anybody is required to have a camera. You go at your own risk. And what we found out is even a lot of, I wish in the city of Kingston alone that we had a camera on every other light pole within the city. I'm not kidding. And every business, I think it should be a city ordinance for all businesses to have cameras. What we run into a lot is, just like the storm we had last night, it always happens after a storm because the system is not working. It needs to be, people don't go in and check. Is it recording today? It was yesterday. So, no, there's nothing like that. As far as your home, I've got a camera at my house. I know if somebody pulls in my driveway. I know if somebody walks to my front door, and they're all around all corners of my house. You can go to Sam's and get them. Yeah, absolutely. We bought the same system actually for the police department. I went and bought a personal one after that. It wasn't, how much did we pay for our camera system at the PD, Chief? Was it $8.99, and that came with the DVR and 8 cameras? 8 cameras. Now you can buy some that's got 4 cameras, you can buy them that got 16, whatever. But that's not a bad deal for security. The only thing we had to provide was an old computer monitor to watch it. The DVR, I think, was a terabyte or something storage. It's not a bad deal. Okay. Ain't that fun?
Checking to see. And of course, Norm fussed at me and said to call you all if that happened then. And I got thinking about that, and I thought, well, if there was somebody in there, I probably died of a heart attack, or he killed me, but
Yeah.
what should we do when it goes off?
If your alarm goes off and you're there,
Yeah.
depends on where you're at. In the bed at 4:30 in the morning, I would roll over, grab my cell phone, get into a closet somewhere. If you think somebody's in your house. Now, if it's in the middle,
Ringing, and it was 82. And I took the phone, and then I go to sleep.
Anybody else want one of these?
Going all over the house, upstairs, downstairs, closet.
me personally, I wouldn't do that. That's the whole purpose of an alarm system. It's not for you to go check out your own house. If you think somebody, now, if it's in the middle of a thunderstorm or something like that, and you think it's something, okay, that's one thing. But if you hear something unusual, if you see something moved or something that shouldn't be, if you've got a suspicion that somebody might be in your house, you need to hide and secure yourself, okay? Take your cell phone with you, hit 911, you don't have to say another word if you can't, okay? No, absolutely not. That's what I would do personally. It's, and law enforcement, you can call 911, and even if you just have to whisper, say, you know, I think somebody's in my house. Oh, absolutely. They better. If they don't, something's wrong. Something's bad wrong.
I want to tell you, if you come to our class, you see it's going to rain, don't stay at home. Come anyway. Because the bad guy don't wait till it's 80 degrees and sunshine to come and get you. See, if I was a bad guy, I'd be at West Town Mall in the wintertime, 7:30 at night when it's raining, and you and your husband come out and he's got the umbrella and he's trying to keep your hair from getting wet. You'd be mine. I'd have your new truck, your car, your money, because you couldn't do nothing about it. Not one thing. Any more questions? Well, any more questions?
Seriously, is there any other items or topics that you all would like for us to speak about in the future? Think about it. Speak with the preacher. They can get in touch with us, and maybe we can set up something else. Yeah, I think the chief has already spoke with you all about that, and he's trying to round somebody up that's qualified to teach some of the physical aspects of self-defense. I believe so, yes. Okay. Yeah, we can actually ask him to come down and speak on it if we don't have a program set up for it. Anything else? Well, ladies, I appreciate everybody showing, and I hope that this did help you out some way, shape, form, or fashion. And if we can be of any assistance to anybody, don't hesitate to call. You can call the 911 center. Tell them you want to speak with Kelly or Gene or the chief or whoever, and they can give us a phone call and let us know, and we'll give you a call back as soon as we can, okay? Thank you all.